Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Chris McGee alongside Mark Medina and Mike Bresnahan. The Lakers are on to round number 2. How are you guys doing? You enjoying the NBA playoffs? Everybody good?
It's the perfect time of year,
yes.
Peter, and I know you're in a good mood.
Yes.
The Lakers advance.
Yes.
They still have a shot. Your hated Boston Celtics are out.
They're out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm okay with it. I'm always okay with it, Brez. I'm always okay with the Boston Celtics.
And let's not forget your weekend. Your daughter won the Junior Olympics, MVP in volleyball.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to
Peter's on a roll. This is the best month of your life.
18 Amir, rock star. It's a love club.
Nice.
But 18 Love, but they did a good job. They won the whole thing, the Natty. So I'm super proud of them. So congrats,
standing up.
Congrats, ladies. Yeah, they deserved it. Best team start to finish.
So did you.
They smashed everybody just like the Lakers smashed the Rockets in Game 6. So let me get right to it. The second round is set, and let's take a look at the playoff bracket. We're going to start in the East. The Detroit Pistons survive the Orlando Magic down 24 in Game 6. They win in 7. They will host the Cleveland Cavaliers, who won their Game 7 on Sunday night against the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks have patiently been waiting after their beatdown to the Hawks in Game 6. They will take on the surprise knockout of the playoffs so far. The 7 seed, Philly, down 3-1, wins 3 in a row to take out the hated Boston Celtics. And in the West, it's 1 versus 4, as it was always supposed to be. Oklahoma City against LA Lakers. And then how about the Timberwolves? What a series they had, finding a way to get it done with some key injuries, taking out the Nuggets 4-2. San Antonio took care of the Blazers 4-1, so we get Minnesota, San Antonio. All right, here we go, fellas. Round 2 coming, but I want to take a look back at round number 1. All right, President, I'm going to start with you. Just 2 takeaways from the series.
Heat, I would not have said this 3 months ago, 4 months ago, but the Laker defense was unbelievable. How about just this Game 6? Houston shot, 29% in the first half? Are you kidding me? In an elimination game? I thought the Lakers were outstanding. I thought Marcus Smart really won the series with his performance in Game 3 with those 5 steals. I mean, he was outstanding. DeAndre Ayton, you and I have talked a lot about his defense, especially in that Game 2. Thought he was great. Vanderbilt was good. I mean, you know, this is a Houston team that was without Durant for 5 of those games. I get it. They had their own internal issues. But for the Lakers to hold that team below 100 in 4 of the 6 games, especially in today's NBA, where you score 100 in like the second or third quarter these days, I thought it was outstanding. Great defense by the Lakers, period.
Mark Medina?
Well, Lakers can't make these same kind of performances against the Thunder. I give the Lakers full credit for beating the Rockets without Luka Doncic, for the most part without Austin Reeves. They all elevated their play, but some of the mistakes they've made or miscues, turnovers.
Are you saying OKC's not dumb like the Houston Rockets? Is that the word you want to use?
There's a lot of things. They're not dumb. They don't make mistakes, and they're infinitely more talented than the Rockets. The Rockets didn't have Kevin Durant. They had that young core that was either inconsistent or questionable with their decision-making. The Thunder, they're a well-oiled machine. Like, they are entering the series without Jalen Williams, but they entered the season without Jalen Williams, and it didn't matter because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander probably going to win another MVP. They have so much wing depth. Former Laker Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, they're all great defenders, great three-point shooters. Chet Holmgren, first-time All-Star, a lot healthier. Isaiah Hartenstein, another big. They're able to play big, small. They lead the league in like every offensive and defensive category here. So really cool that the Lakers found a way to advance, but they got their hands full.
All right, Brez, what do you got for number 2?
I'm going to talk about the others, but mostly Marcus Smart. You know, Shaq once coined anyone not named Shaq or Kobe, the others. But you got to start with Marcus Smart. I mean, look, this is a guy the last 2 years, we've talked a lot about it. Coming into this year, he didn't come close to playing, 65, 70 games combined in those 2 years, Mark. He wasn't close to playing all 82. And now he's playing an absolutely huge part for this team. His Game 3 was ridiculous. 21 points, 10 assists, 5 steals. You know, great defense. You know, not a great mark of defender is not how many steals you get. It's just kind of a byproduct of it. But you know, just hustling, frustrating. Kevin Durant certainly on that play, and I just loved what he did throughout the entire series. You know, shout out to a couple of the others. You know, Luke Kennard, I thought he got off to a good start in the series. 50 points in the first 2 games. Ayton, we just talked about his really good defense. You know, I thought Rui was solid as well. He averaged 15 points the entire series. So you can't just be LeBron and then Austin Reeves. The others really did help. Marcus Smart was the leader of that group, Geet.
No doubt. Great job. Shout out to Marcus Smart. Mark Medina, what's your number 2?
LeBron James delaying Father Time once again.
Smacking him around is what he's doing. Yeah.
And to be clear, Father Time smacked him around too. I mean, he's 41 years old, so that happens.
Sure.
But LeBron's giving some good counterpunches. I mean, without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, he elevated his role back into that number 1 role, but he really found the sweet spot, Peter, of elevating his play and obvious importance of the team, but not taking over. He's took a lot of shots, he scored a lot of points, but he set the tone for why the Lakers had such a balanced approach, because he's distributing, he's passing, he's making the right play. He also empowered guys. And, we saw in this Rockets series, his legs weren't always there, hence why he wasn't shooting well from 3. I think those heavy minutes, Game 4, Game 5, caught up to him, but he's still exploiting the basket. He's throwing down dunks that would warrant a 10 rating at a dunk contest, like that reverse jam earlier in the season. So as it pertains to the Thunder, he has some time to restart, and he is going to continue to pick up where he left off.
All right, guys, here's a look at the season series between the Lakers and the Thunder. And OKC was dominant by an average of close to 30 points in their 4 wins over the Lakers. You see the point differential, the field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage was a big one, 43-30, and getting out rebounded by 7 on average. Here's JJ Redick on facing the champs.
You're talking about a team that's they're top 5 in every category that's disruptive based. Steals, blocks, turnovers, forced, all that stuff. And they don't foul. They somehow do all of that without fouling, which is one of the most remarkable things, I think, in NBA history.
With that point, is it repetition, like every day in practice? Did you do that with rebounding, for example?
Yeah.
You just have to keep hammering away at it?
I think today was building towards like what tomorrow is going to look like and building towards Game 1. You don't obviously have as much time as you do for your first round opponent. But we have to have some built-in pressure releases. Yeah.
Considering how good they are at defense, how important is it that everybody stars in the role offensively, and guys like Luke Kennard is a huge threat in what he does and helps spread the floor?
I guess again, it's come down to, can you take care of the ball and get a shot on goal? The starring in your role thing, I don't think is at this point in the season is not important. It's about getting a shot on goal and not turning the ball over.
Tall task ahead, as JJ said. Obviously, huge underdogs coming into this series, and rightfully so. The Thunders are the champs. Let's give them their flowers right now. What makes them so good, guys? What sticks out when you watch this team, Brad?
I feel like the depth. You had Jalen Williams for all of 33 games in the regular season. And what happened? You got off to almost a record-setting start, and you finished in the mid-60s in the win column. There's just too many guys that can help him. Chet Holmgren, all-star in his own right. You've got a really good bench. A.J. Mitchell. Mark. I know you're a big Gauchos fan, but I was not privy to the talents that he had until a few months ago when he started getting 15 a game. It's like, who is this guy? So who he is a former second-round pick out of UC Santa Barbara, and we got to talk about Caruso, and then you got the other Jalen Williams, slightly different spelling of that first name, a very good backup big man. Hartenstein, solid. He's a 10-10 guy almost every night. There's just so many people on this team, Geet. I'm kind of exhausting myself just talking about the depth. It just goes back to that ridiculous trade with the Clippers several years ago where they got Shea and 5 first-round picks. They still have a bunch of picks coming up, too. This team is just ridiculous, period.
Yeah, and as a result, Gator, they lead the league or top of the league in almost every offensive, defensive metric. So that might not be surprising, but another interesting wrinkle with this is that the Thunder, they got the number 1 seed despite the fact that there's been so many injuries throughout the year. It started with Jalen Williams, but they had Isaiah Hartenstein miss a bunch of games. Same thing with Shea. Same thing with Alex Caruso, A.J. Mitchell. But it didn't really matter because of what Brez was saying. They have so much depth, continuity. I asked, people around the Thunder organization why they've been able to absorb that, and it goes without saying, they're talented, so that helps, but there's so much continuity and familiarity because this team has grown together that's really plug and play when guys are in or out of the lineup.
Guys, here's a stat for you. In the last 2 regular seasons, OKC Thunder have 132 wins.
Wow.
68 and 64. That's an average of 66, Brez.
That is not nothing, is it?
That's pretty impressive, especially when you factor in Jay Will played how many games this year? Didn't you say he missed a bunch of games?
He played only
Talking on the
33.
He missed
podcast.
49 games.
That's a wild stat. So
Yeah.
it just goes to show you how deep that team is. Now, anything can happen, right? We've seen it in sports our entire lives. We've seen it in the NBA. We just saw it with Philly and Boston. Philly down 3-1, found a way. That was a favorite in the East. Philly found a way to get it done in 7 games. Lakers have played above expectations the entire season. Brez, can they continue? Can they steal one on the road here in the first 2?
That's a key. And if you win one on the road, then you can say, okay, well, what's up with Luka? How's his hamstring coming? And of course, J.J. Redick was non-committal about that. When asked about it at practice, still indefinite. But the more you can surprise this team right out of the gate, the better. It's going to be that classic rest versus rust argument. The Lakers just played a few days ago. And OKC's been off for, what, a month, Mark, it feels like?
Yep.
I mean, they had zero trouble with Bergen's Suns. I feel like they won every game by an average of about 63 points. And, the Lakers, you just got to win one of those first 2 games, and then you can start to recalculate things a little bit. It's not going to be easy. Lakers 15.5-point underdogs for Game 1. It's got to be the supporting cast. Cannot just be LeBron and Austin Reeves. Everyone else, especially the defenders, Geet, Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, they got to be ready to go.
Yeah, it's hard for guys, to be frank, it's hard for me to envision the Lakers stealing, especially the beginning of the series, because Luka Doncic's not going to play. JJ's mentioned there's no update on him. I was at practice, and he was only doing some light shooting, so he still's got to do full team drills. But the Lakers are going to go out swinging. I think Jake LaRavia said it best that, they respect them, but they don't fear them. They're going to go all out with the same characteristics that got them here. And Marcus Smart was saying, yeah, they obviously miss Luka. He's one of the best players for a reason, but in a weird way, it's been beneficial for them because everyone's had a more heightened awareness. Everyone has to elevate their play. There's no margin for error here. So it's hard for me to envision it, but we can think that way. The Lakers don't think that way, nor can they, because, as we've mentioned, the Thunder have so many things on their side.
Yep.
The Lakers have to basically go all out with every single thing just to give them a chance.
All right, guys, the Lakers and Thunder will tip it off. Their second-round series begins on Tuesday night. The game can be seen on NBC at 5:30, but be sure to join us for the pregame coverage starting at 4:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. And after the game, you rejoin us for postgame coverage right here on Spectrum Sportsnet following Game 1. Shots up, reports from everyone. He's definitely not starting this series, and we don't know if he will be back at all. I think the Lakers are kind of moving forward with, you're going to play without your superstar, but maybe there is some hope. What are you hearing? It's been, 32 days? I think?
Yeah, it's been about 4 weeks. So when you're looking at grade 2 hamstrings, the usual timeline is 4 to 6 weeks. So it's very typical that a player comes back 5-6 weeks. But what Luka's done now, it's been stationary shooting. After today's practice, he's getting up a bunch of threes. He's being lighthearted with teammates, teasing Rui Hachimura a little bit, Austin Reeves. Those are all good signs. But he hasn't done anything beyond that. So, moving forward, it's about getting into team practices, contact. The encouraging thing here is that talking to doctors outside the organization for objective perspective on grade 2 hamstrings is, as long as you follow the protocols and don't rush them back, once a player comes back, they typically don't feel any symptoms. It's really plug and play. So as it pertains to Luka, I can imagine there's a scenario that as soon as he's back, beyond, shaying off some additional rust, you won't really see him missing a beat. But the tough part is, how many games can the Lakers go without him, knowing how great the Thunder are?
Yeah, 32 days since he played. I mean, it's been a while. Even if he starts running tomorrow, that's still about a week away before he can really get up to game speed. Stationary shooting is one thing, but then you got to get 2 things: running and physicality. You and I talked about this in the podcast, Geet. You got to start, pushing into people in practices and scrimmages and getting checked and shoved all around and knocked down and get back up. He's just not at that point yet. It really bums me out, Geet, because if you look at his March, he averaged 38, 8, and 7. I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, the Lakers went 15-2, and we can all pretty much put a finger on why. Obviously LeBron and they were good as well, but that man right there was just on a different altitude than the rest of us in the month of March. And we were all like, oh no, here comes March. What's going to happen to the Lakers? And Luka made sure that he put his mark on the MVP race. He's not going to win it probably, but he's going to be top 3 because of what he did for this team to get them as high as they were in the seedings in the West, despite a lot of injuries throughout the season.
So the reigning MVP is SGA, and we all think he's on his way to possibly winning a second. Listen, this team is, as JJ said, it's shaping up to be an insane run for them. Could be one of the all-time teams. The metrics show it, the analytics show it. Shea is really the key to their greatness. I mean, without him, they're still a great team, but they can't do what, winning championships and what the plan is, right? SGA really drives that.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's his skill set and it's his gravity. And the reason why he leads the league in the NBA in scoring, or one of the top players, is that he doesn't have one specific tool. He is a master at the mid-range. He's great from three. He's great at finishing at the rim. And when he finishes at the rim, he gets a lot of foul calls. So that's a very frustrating combination. And so he's gained a lot of points. The way he gets fouls gives him extra points. It slows the game down, and it can also get opponents really upset and frustrated because he does draw a lot of whistles. The Thunder will tell you he uses his angles well, his aggressiveness well to draw those whistles, as opposed to being this free throw merchant. But whatever the case may be, the numbers are what the numbers are. He hits every single scoring bucket that you need, and when he is being covered, he has a lot of great options from three or inside with Holmgren and Hartenstein that can finish.
Yeah, I think Mark nailed it with the 3 levels that he's able to beat you at, and just the efficiency in which he does it. There's not a lot of mistakes.
Really clean game, isn't it? I mean, it's fun to watch. The excess free throws do get a little bit much for me personally, but maybe he's this decade's James Harden, right? Just free throw trip after free throw trip. He's scary because he's good defensively too. Always among the top 5 or 10 in steals in the league. If you're pretty lackadaisical with the ball, he's got it going the other way. Easy layup, easy dunk, whatever he feels like doing. And Mark, I like a lot of what you said. I mean, he'll lull you to sleep and then blow right past you, AKA right there. Nice little up and under. He's got the whole bag of tricks. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you're the Lakers, you have to say, okay, I like JJ, hope and pray. That's one way to do it. Obviously, they're going to have to develop some sort of a game plan. Maybe just say, okay, he's going to get his 30 with no Jalen Williams. Let's try to shut down Chet Holmgren. And then it gets really interesting. Who's going to beat you? Is it going to be A.J. Mitchell or Caruso? They've got other names, no doubt about it. Maybe Lou Dort's going to go off.
I mean, he hits threes against the Lakers, Lou Dort.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But if you can forget about Shea, let him do his thing, neutralize Holmgren, and then, see what you can get out of that.
Mark, I think the officiating in this series is going to be big. And listen, Shea gets to the line a lot. And I think the ability for the Lakers to not get wrapped up in the foul calls, because they're going to be being hacked by Lou Dort and guys.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of the series.
Yeah. I think that's why J.J. Redick was trying to emulate Phil Jackson a little bit with his sound bites.
Impressive. That was
Plant
impressive.
the seeds for how the game is called, and also send a message to his guys about, it's going to be an officiated game that we don't like. Let's find a way to navigate.
Yeah, I like that.
Time for a quick break. The Lakers know they have their work cut out. The series tips off tomorrow night on NBC. Game 2 is set for Thursday night at 6:30 on Amazon Prime. And then the series shifts to LA on Saturday and Monday. Here's Austin Reeves looking forward to facing off with OKC.
They won it all last year. And, they've been the best team of basketball all this year. So it's obviously going to be a big challenge, but at the end of the day, you can't go in, scared of, you have an opportunity to go play basketball. So we'll have fun.
Austin, is there a sense of nobody thought you guys would get past the Rockets? And, obviously nobody thinks you guys are going to get past the Thunder. Like, how much is that just, motivating you guys? Like, the underdog mentality?
Yeah, I mean, you could say nobody thought we were going to get past Houston, but everybody in this building believes. So, it's the same mindset going into this. We obviously know, like I said, the team that we're about to face and how good they are and the problems that they, can create through 48 minutes. So we'll have to lock in every single day, film, whatever it can be, to continue to get better and pay attention to all the little details like they do. So,
what makes Shea so difficult, and how do you try and slow him down?
Very professional in putting the ball in the basket. All 3 levels, shoot the 3, obviously mid-range, gets inside the paint, and then obviously shoots a lot of free throws. So when you can do that, at a high efficiency. It's going to be tough.
So he's getting fouled a lot, you're saying?
He gets fouled a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he shoots a lot of free throws. I mean, I would love to shoot, I shoot a lot of free throws too, so it's fun.
Austin got 2 games under his belt, 18.5 per in that series. Had some good moments for sure. That third quarter in the closeout game, 8 points in a row. How important was it for him to get back before OKC, Brez, and get a couple under his belt? And what did you see from him in those 2 games?
Yeah, the first game back, not a good shooting night for him in the mid 20% accuracy. But man, I like
13 free throws in that first game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of free throws, so good for him.
Wild.
But I like how he handled that too. That question from BT, trying to trip him up a little bit. But I think that last game was really good to see him getting back in the rhythm of being Austin Reeves. He missed almost a month. It's going to take some time, That's why even when Luka comes back, say it's in, I don't know, we'll throw it out there, a week and a half. He's not going to come out and do that 38, 8, and 8 that he had in March. It takes time for these guys. And for Austin Reeves, the curve for him was thankfully really only about a game and a half. And then, like you mentioned, that second half in Game 6 against Houston.
Yeah, there were some moments for sure.
Yeah, it was good to see him kind of get back to exactly who he was. But really, until he got hurt, he would have been an all-star, guys. He was in such a good run until that injury that sidelined him for, 6 weeks? It was a long time. Missed him.
It was huge for him to come back, though. At the time it was, because the Lakers, they're still trying to close out against the Rockets. You could tell that fatigue was starting to get on some of those guys. So even though Austin Reeves was dealing with his own fatigue, with just rust, he was an injection of energy. It also gave him a little bit of a rampway for this upcoming series where he could chip away at the rust, try to address his shooting. His shooting's still not up to form, but I expect that to come out here against the Thunder. And he, for what it's worth, guys, said that after those 2 games, after getting some practices physically, he's feeling good. So I would expect that his minutes, his shot efficiency, his overall energy is going to be even higher. And that's a good thing, especially because he already was providing a lot of energy even with those missed shots.
Yeah, I think the hope is, like Brez, you guys both talked about, that shooting efficiency goes up. I think the important part was that he was able to handle the physicality because OKC is going to bring it on both sides. LeBron, Game 6, one for the ages again, Mark Medina, showing us who he is at age 41.
Yeah, I mean, every time LeBron James does something special, you're not surprised by it because of his resume, but then all of a sudden you're just in awe that he's still able to replicate these magical type of performances given his age and workload and just all the strain that he's dealt with for playing 23 years of basketball and 10 NBA Finals runs. I think as it pertains to the Thunder, entering Game 1 at least, he had a good window to reset, recharge, prepare. So I would expect that he'll be able to play at his best. Now the challenging thing is after that, up through Game 5, it's every other day. So I would expect LeBron will probably play his best Game 1, and then we'll see some challenges on how he manages that workload from here on out.
All right, LeBron James doing work. And Brez, here's a crazy stat for you. LeBron and both coaches, they're all the same age. 41 years old.
That is ridiculous.
There it is, Brez.
This is one of the funniest graphics in the 14-year existence of this network, Heat. And you know what? One of my favorite questions of the last few years was when you, in a post-game in the Laker locker room, Geet, you informed LeBron that he was like 6 years older than one of the coaches.
Like the Utah Jazz coach.
Will Harding, thank you, and here we are again. And, he's not older or younger than all these coaches, these 2 coaches. They're all the same age. I mean, it's comical to me, and it just shows, like, we really have never, ever seen this in the NBA. We saw it in the NFL with Tom Brady, but man, this is really an amazing thing to watch, and keep going, man. Keep going.
I think he was 3 years older, and I had mentioned it too. He's like, what? And I was like, you're 3 years older than the coach. Yeah.
It's also amazing. I mean, J.J. Redick's one of many examples how LeBron is facing different coaches that literally played in the league at the same time he did. So it's just wild. Yeah.
All right, look at the postseason numbers for LeBron and SGA. LeBron averaging 23 points, 7 boards, over 8 assists, close to 1.5 steals, while the reigning MVP, SGA, led the Thunder to a sweep of the Suns. He scored close to 34 per on 55%, just 31% from 3, but the 4 rebounds and the 8 assists. So, all right, here we go. Top storylines for the Lakers-Thunder series. Brez, you get 2 of them. What's your 1?
Well, I have a feeling Mark's going to be talking about Luka, just a guess. So I'm going to be kind to the guess. I'm going to take the other hurt guy for the other team, Jalen Williams. When's he back? He's obviously a key part to this team. We've already talked about how he missed almost half the season. So OKC is well prepared to play without him. But, he's been out since April 22nd. Difference between him and Luka, we're talking grade 1 versus grade 2. So Jalen, really, I expect will be back within a couple games, if not by game 2, certainly by game 3. And they miss him. He's an 18-point, 5 assists, 5 rebound kind of guy, really good defender as well. All-star last season, obviously not close to enough games this season to even be considered. He missed the first month and a half, 2 months of the season. And, without him, shockingly, this deep OKC team has been able to maintain a 65-win pace. Whatever they were, it was a lot of wins, Mark.
Yeah. Well, you were very correct.
Prez was right.
What the top storyline was for me. It's when's Luka going to return? He's kind of a big deal, as one of our favorite anchors once famously said, right? And the Lakers, they have maintained, they don't know. JJ Redick said he doesn't have any update for Luka after Monday's practice. And all he's done is light shooting. As we've talked about, he needs to do some more teamwork, some contact work. But the fact that he's with the team, he'll be able to, gradually have that increased workload. The challenging thing is, though, the calendar. After game 1, they only play every other day. So there's only one practice window to then set himself up for a return. So he hasn't had any setbacks. It's just that 4 to 6 week timetable is a 4 to 6 week timetable.
Much different series in round 1 in terms of the spread out with the days in between, right? It's a good point. Brez is a good one. Can the Lakers in that defense, can they maintain the edge?
I think one of my favorite stats of any series in the first round, the Lakers held Houston to 98.6 points a game. I mean, that's incredible. And I know Kevin Durant only played played 1 of the 6 games, missing 5 of them. But I was really impressed by the Lakers and what they did defensively. And they have to they have to try to continue that. OKC averaged 123 a game in the first round, and that wasn't even really stepping on the gas against a downtrodden Phoenix team. And the Lakers really have to try to, put it this way, Lakers without Luka, they're not going to be scoring 125 a game, so they must win it defensively. Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, even DeAndre Ayton, on 2 very good big men for OKC. Those 3 guys really have to come to play defense. And, of course, LeBron's got to be there as well, kind of calling the shots. It is not going to be easy, but it starts on the defensive end, Chris.
All right, Mark, I kind of led you to this earlier, but we wouldn't let you jump in because it's one of your storylines. It's about the officiating.
Yeah, how are the fouls going to be called? I think it's a very interesting dichotomy here, and JJ Redick did a good job of laying the groundwork down. That Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets a lot of free throws. He's saying, hey, well, how do you shave it? You can't really do anything because no one's been able to stop him all season, so you hope and pray. But the other thing is they don't get called for a lot of whistles themselves, and that's the other thing. Is it going to be one lane or the other where they allow, because it's the playoffs and they want to have a smooth flow of a game, that they allow both teams to have a level of physicality? Or is it going to be the other way where we're going to say Shai gets the line a lot?
It is interesting, though, Mark, because they are the best team. But then, always when they win these games or these series, you get clips coming out from the other side on social media like, you're allowed to get away with this, the fouls, the inbounding the ball, not crossing the line. Like, all these things, it's like they're in this window right now where things are just going their way and the game gets called their way.
Yeah, and the messaging from both JJ and the players is that ahead of time, they have to play through everything. They can't get frustrated, but it's inevitable. In the heat of the moment, they're going to be politicking, and certainly after the game, they're going to send their footage. But the key thing is not to allow a Shai trip to the free throw line to distract them on the next possession. Or if they're getting upset that, hey, Lou Dort whacked me or gave me the Nikola Jokic treatment and the officials didn't see it, allowing them to not be focused the next few possessions.
All right, guys. Access rolls on after the break, but first, it's our throwback Mamba. Lakers first round series win over the Houston Rockets. And Brez, we start with this fun Lakers first round series win over the Houston Rockets. And Brez, we start with this guy right on. What?
You know how I said I hate that cliche next man up? I love it now because he was the next man up. I mean, he was unbelievable in the first 2 games. Scored 50 points total. I mean, he's the reason, the main reason why they won those 2 games, and just absolutely unconscious. Just like you, Geet, in your years as a Crespi Celt. Did they have a 3-point line back then, Geet?
Yeah, Brez, I'm not that old. We did have a 3-point line.
He was outstanding.
Then he became a big part of their scouting report, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Because
sure
he wasn't
did.
able to get those shots off as easily. All right, Mark Medina, you got DeAndre Ayton with the monstrous alley-oop here in Game 2.
Man, look at that. The Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton connection is a very special quality for this team's chemistry. And J.J. Redick was talking about DeAndre Ayton, saying that he's the person that changes our ceiling the most. And that play encapsulates that. He jumps really high and can throw it down. The fact that he's engaged on both ends of the floor, I think, provides a trickle-down effect for the rest of the group. But nothing else. It's just entertaining to see Marcus Smart throw lobs to DeAndre Ayton, because most times it'll end up as a top play.
The most improbable, wild ending. Game 3, Lakers coming up clutch. Marcus Smart, the steal, draws the foul. That's not it, though. It's LeBron James with the reverse dunk in Game 2, Brez. I jumped the gun on this one.
Yeah,
That's my fault.
both those plays are outstanding, but this is
Still pretty sweet.
First of all, he just blows by Kevin Durant, who is glued to the floor there, and then says, you know what? This is like he's doing his touchdown dance in the end zone. I mean, this is the receiver who scores off the 80-yard bomb. No one's there, Gee.
Yeah.
So why not? We'll do the double reverse clutch and just jam it down. I mean, that was unbelievable. That was fun to watch.
You know, maybe the Rockets' offense was different without KD, but I kind of liked him on the defensive end. Lakers were going right at him.
Yeah, he obviously was not good, not himself.
Here it is. Here's the
There
Lakers
we go,
coming up
Gee.
clutch. You got Marcus Smart with the steal, draw the foul, hit the 3 free throws, and LeBron James' steal and game-tying 3. What a finish, Marcus Medina.
Yeah, and Keeter, as you said, the Rockets made a bunch of boneheaded mistakes here. But you know what? You also got to credit the Lakers for staying in the game. Marcus Smart specifically, and his literal smarts with forcing that loose ball and then drawing a trip to the free throw line off a 3. And then LeBron James taking advantage of his own 3-point attempt. So, yeah, the Rockets self-imploded, but the Lakers also hung in there and made the right plays when they needed to.
Brez, you're a Steeler fan. I feel like you guys are really into old quarterbacks, and you're always looking for one. How about this guy right here? How's that pass?
Yeah, we'll take him. Can he throw it to Michael Pittman and sort of the receiver, the guy from Seattle? I'm blanking on his.
Nobody cares.
Anyway, what
DK
else?
Metcalf.
DK, thank you, DK. I knew we had initials. We're going to be terrible this year anyway, the Steelers. This is an absolute BB right there. Good hands, too, by Marcus Smart. I mean, you got to have a good receiver if you're going to throw a laser like that.
Speaking of Marcus Smart, how about this block in Game 6, Medina?
Love it. I mean, we know that Marcus Smart is a great defender, but usually that's with steals or drawing charges. It's not being this rim protector, but Marcus Smart, even though he's undersized, he can still stuff Tari Eason at the rim, have a great positioning and length to make a stop as if he's this elite big man.
That's big elevation right there. I mean, Eason's like a forward. And
Second best dunk of the playoffs, Perez, and it belongs to a young guy, a rookie, a Duthero.
the second-round pick, kind of unheralded. Had a little knee injury coming into camp with the Lakers.
Wow.
He's not injured on this play, fellas. He looks 140% healthy right there. Just an absolute stick back. I can hear James Worthy right now saying he's sticking. Wherever James is, he likes to sit back.